guess they're just good boys. Talk to Cyber Chicken? Hey, this guy. Can you talk to chickens? Metal plated electronics have been implanted in this chicken's body. It looks up at you. A sense of loneliness in its eyes. You don't see any other chickens around. Aw. You got lonely chickens? Level 3. I think we searched the whole area now. Besides going to talk to Marcelo. Corporal Marcelo Gonzalez. Gonzalez seems at home behind his radio equipment. He salutes crisply as you approach.
Welcome to your communications hub, Rangers. The Patriarch was good enough to let me use my own gear, and I have my high-frequency radio equipment all set up. From here on out, I will be your voice in the wind. You can contact Ranger HQ at any time through your radio, and I'll reach out as needed. When there's arrests to be made under your authority, just radio them into me. Pleasure to serve.
Tell us about your radio equipment.
The finest setup you'll find this side of the Rockies. This equipment took years to get together. A lot of it custom work. String and pieces of gum, you know? This is the only setup in Colorado able to communicate on all sorts of frequency bands, up to the HF band. That means we can reach you pretty much no matter where you are in Colorado. The basic controls are straightforward. You should try the device yourselves whenever you're here. I've picked up all kinds of signals. It's possible you could even reach Arizona.
What do you think about the Patriarch?
I've worked the radio for some time now, and I hear all kinds of stories from other parts of the world. Horrors you wouldn't believe. Is Colorado perfect? No, but it's a damn sight better than any alternative I've seen.
How do you feel about being part of the Rangers?
Speaking frankly, great. Protect and serve, right? Things had grown stale with the Marshals. I felt like I'd reached the end of what I could do for the people there. Proud to be a Ranger now.
Tell me again what it is you do.
I'm your radio communications expert. I'll be manning the radio whenever you call in, or whenever we need to reach you, which is the easy part of this job. The hard part is keeping this equipment in tip-top shape and ready to go.
You installed our car AI? Are you an expert?
Oh, I'm not. It just turns out artificial intelligence isn't that much different from fiddling with radios. Easy enough to install, it turned out, but I wouldn't know the first thing about it otherwise.
Okay, good luck, Marcelo.
Anytime.
What we really need is a place we can heal up. I go back and talk to this woman because her poor friend Andy will not. Oh, we know his fate.
You're good people, Rangers. We'll find a way to pay you back. Anything you need?
Well, unfortunately, I think we found your missing guy. I'm sorry to say, he's dead.
Andy. Damn it. I was afraid of that. We've been locked up for days, but at least we had our supplies with us. How did he... No. I don't want to know. Enough death in this world. Don't need the details to make it even more bitter. Thanks for telling me, Rangers. I'll break it to the others.
We had more time to explore the base than we have. Can I ask you about it?
Sure.
Did you touch any of the equipment in the war room?
Andy may have. He's the only one of us who knew computers. I told him to stay out of there because I was afraid of, well, of something like what happened when this whole place got locked down.
You know anything about the corpses in the med bay?
Oh, it's horrible. They were there when we arrived. Probably been rotting away for months from the look of them. Ugh, not to mention the smell.
Have you been in the brig?
Yep. There was a man locked in there when we moved in, living off insects and mushrooms in his cell. I left him locked up after I met him. I felt bad about that. He was cordial enough, but he just kept asking questions that felt off. And those glassy eyes.
What did you find about the armory?
Booby traps, mostly. One of my people disarmed an explosive on a door, but missed a gas mine under the floor panel on the other side. She was vomiting for a week. Almost died. I told everyone to avoid the room after that. No one here is worth losing over whatever guns may or may not be in there.
Anything we can scavenge in the garage?
Poked my head in there and saw a giant robot next to a dead body. Hard pass.
Smarter than I was, to be honest. What's in the archive room?
We first got into the base through a hole in the archive room's wall. Some critters living in there chased us around, but we managed to shut them in before anyone got seriously hurt. We've been trying to snare them for a while for fresh meat, but they just chew through the ropes like they're Sour Patch Kids.
Well, that's all, thanks.
Careful out there. It's an uncaring world.
Shattered soldier. Well, I probably have to go see a doctor. We are going to a town, no? So I guess I'll save and hopefully I don't have to fight anything. Go back and talk to other guy Gretzky.
Rangers, good to see you.
If you're going to be our chief of security, sorry, we want to know more about you.
Happy to tell you what you need to know.
What's your story?
Well, came here with my folks when I was a kid, and was a young man when Saul was trying to unite the families and make Colorado a state. I got behind him right away. He had leader written all over him, even back then. I've served at his side ever since, fighting against the monster army, consolidating power here in town, helping him expand our borders.
What Mr. Gretzky means is that he played a key role in many of the Patriarch's greatest victories, and he had no small part in making Colorado what it is today.
You're too kind, Darius. Well,
the fighting's never really ended. Trying to hold it all together is a constant struggle. This business with his children is just the latest in a long line of troubles.
Served with the patriarchs for so long, you must like him.
I do indeed. Some folks can't get past his brusque ways, but that's just the impatience of a man who knows what's right, dealing with fools who don't. He cares too deeply about the well-being of the people of Colorado to let political courtesy slow him down. Of course, you'll hear a lot of folk condemning him for hurting this group or that group with his decisions, but the way I see it, they should be glad it wasn't them who had to make the choice.
Will you tell us some stories about your days fighting besides the patriarch? I guess we'll ask him that another day.
I'll be here.
I guess we'll heal up. Okay, I'll just see it like that for now. An old weather-worn pedestal. The inscription is fading and illegible. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna prepare to go down and help out the sheriff. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna, I think, walk down. We'll take the footpath down to downtown Colorado Springs. What happened here?
Please, my son's not a Dorsey. Let him go.
The deluge of blood is coming for you all!
My son's done nothing wrong.
Forcer. I guess we'll go talk to the magistrate.
Now!
You ain't seen the last of...
This dour man looks out at the pillories with an expression of grim satisfaction. His shallow skin pulls tight over his face and his thin lips press together in a hard line.
Howdy, Judge. How's your heart? Still colder than a well-digger's ass?
Marshal Quan, impertinent as ever, I see. Rangers, I am Magistrate Silas Watkins. I have heard of your arrival, partly from the confessions of the Dorsey Raiders. You'll be pleased to know that I sentenced them to death for their part in the attack on the city and your convoy. Which reminds me, that Dorsey you requested stand trial? He was clearly guilty and sentenced to the pillories. A waste of my time. He did have this note, though, which you may find interesting.
What's with the pillories?
They are the only instrument of justice we need. Serious offenders die by exposure. Sometimes I might grant a reprieve after frostbiters claim their extremities.
Wow. Death by exposure seems awfully harsh, but who am I to sort of judge him, you know? I'm not even from here. Talk about something else.
Proceed.
Goodbye.
Indeed. No regret, no repentance. Death to Buchanan! Death to the 100 stinking families!
Extra, extra! Cowardly attack on Colorado Springs! New in town? Did you hear about what happened?
This young man is still in his teens. He carries numerous copies of a newspaper, the Colorado Patriot. We hear there's been trouble.
Sure has. Dorsey's got into the city, but nobody knows how. They started shooting up the place and killed a lot of people. Then they made a run at the Patriarch's palace. Oh, but they couldn't get inside. It took a while, but Sheriff Daisy and the marshals beat him back. Now they're holed up in the Garden of the Gods. Well, some of them, anyway. Others jumped in their trucks and ran for it.
What do you know about the Dorsey?
Just what I've been told. Back before I was born, they were the family that betrayed the Patriarch and tried to take charge of Colorado. The thing is, everybody thought they'd been dead for years. I mean, there's tons of stories about how the Patriarch wiped them all out.
Where can I find the Sheriff Daisy?
Oh, Marshall Station, right over there. You can't miss the pillories out front.
Oh, so I was in the right place. You report the news around here?
Yep. I work for the Colorado Patriot, only newspaper left in America. We tell people what's happening in the city and what they should think about it.
Have a good one, kid.
Be careful. Might still be Dorsey's hiding out in the city.
Bastards!
How does it feel now?
Lucia Wesson.
Ah, Marshals. Finally. I was beginning to think you were never going to help. Hold on now. You aren't marshals. You look like ruffians. Are you here to see the sheriff? Well, I'm first. I've been waiting here on tenterhooks for an hour.
Ruffians? Are you always this rude?
I'm sorry. I was raised better than that. It's just...
Just what?
I am under considerable duress. My family has been kidnapped by those no-good Dorseys, and the marshals will give me no answers about their situation. They won't even speak to me. I must know how the sheriff intends to rescue them, and when.
Marshall seemed a bit overwhelmed at the moment.
That may be, but my family is one of the leading families of Colorado Springs. We have been longtime allies of the Patriarch and supporters of all he stands for. Surely that should be given some consideration.
I guess you should talk to him. Is there anyone here who you think should get less consideration than you?
I suppose not. We are all equal in the eyes of God, as they say. I am just frustrated That is all. It doesn't seem that anything is being done.
Who are you anyway?
My name is Lucia Wesson, daughter of Percival Wesson and Maria Reyes of the 100 Families. But now they and my little brother have been kidnapped by those good-for-nothing Dorseys, and I fear for their lives.
Well, we're the Arizona Rangers. We could help you.
Well, you look capable enough, but I don't know you from Adam. Why, you might be robbers or bandits. No. Thanks all the same, but I think I'll continue to wait on the proper authorities. Frustrating though that may be.
Suit yourself, kid.
Sheriff Daisy, I will not leave until you speak to me.
We should build some more watchtowers around the garden. Dorsey slipped right past the ones we've got.
Yeah, but
Sheriff Daisy.
pull some resort.
The sheriff is a statuesque woman with graying blonde hair and steel in her smile.
Well, now you must be the Rangers. I'm the sheriff around here, but you can call me Daisy. Old Saul tells me you're a bunch of badasses, and I ain't one to turn away a badass, especially at a time like this. I reckon you already heard all about the Dorsey raid, so I won't bore you with the details. Suffice it to say, we whooped 'em good, and the survivors are holed up in the Garden of the Gods with a bunch of hostages. Thing is, I lost a lot of marshals. My boys and girls are tired and beat up. You want to make some fast friends around here? You could go into the garden and speak to those Dorseys for us. Maybe find out how the hell they got into the city in the first place.
And by speak, you mean shoot the everlasting shit out of them and save those hostages, right, boss?
Quan, I hear you're some fancy liaison now. Old Saul taking my people without even asking? How dare he? Anyway, yes, you rascal. That's exactly what I mean. But question him first, you hear?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Got a few questions before you go.
Rangers, I'd love to trade war stories, but I've got marshals calling me left and right, dead folks lying in the street. Now, the Dorsey's hostages are from the fancy side of town. 100 Families folk. Try to get 'em out of there alive, or I'll never hear the fucking end of it. And please, take young Miss Wesson with you. I need that girl out of my hair. In fact, I'm gonna insist. I'm telling Lupinski not to let you into the garden without her. But don't worry. She knows which end of the gun the bullets come out of. Go in there and kick some ass, Rangers.
Go talk to her.
I'm not sure why the sheriff didn't assign me marshals, but, well, beggars can't be choosers. I am the Miss Wesson she spoke of. Lucia Wesson, daughter of Percival Wesson and Maria Reyes of the 100 Families. As Sheriff Daisy told you, they and some of our neighbors were taken hostage by the Dorseys, and I mean to free them. All of them. So, I am ready when you are.
What can you tell us about the Dorseys?
No good traitors, that's what they are. Used to be 100 Families, like us, but rotten. Backstabbers, every one of them. At least that's what my father says. They rebelled against the Patriarch before I was born, and were driven from the city. I was always told they were dead and gone. It seems I was misinformed.
What is the Garden of the Gods Sheriff Daisy didn't say?
It's a project of the Ward family, a showcase for their know-how. They grow food there using the latest technologies. Colorado Springs leads the world in science. But there are plenty of places to hide in the garden. The Dorseys could be laying for us anywhere. We shall have to be cautious.
That we shall. Before we go anywhere, let's talk about your combat experience.
Certainly. My father taught me to shoot almost before I could walk, and I'm the best shot in the city.
Oh, well. You're welcome to come along then, because I'm sure as hell not.
Oh, it's true. She's a prodigy, all right. Also a pain in the ass.
You sure you don't want to leave this to the professionals?
I know very little about you strangers. And even if I trusted you as I would a friend, it is still my family who the Dorseys threaten. I must go.
Let's do it.
At last.
It's over here. Irrigation room, it seems. Okay, let's heal. Okay, I can use on others. I guess I'm as healed as I need to be. Hopefully.
Hey, Rangers! How'd you like that welcome party at the lake? No mercy on your souls, Colorado!
Dozens killed by Dorsey thugs. Families taken hostage. Brave marshals stopped Dorsey's at Palace.
Darn it, Martha. Why else would I even keep a shotgun around if I don't use it?
Do you know who those outlaws are, Josiah? They're Dorseys! They won't be scared of a scrawny old man.
A scrawny old man with a shotgun? Hang on, I'm not that old.
Garden of the Gods is just north of Market Square. Marshal Lupinski should be out front.
Okay, so let's go the opposite way. The young guard's face is nervous but determined. He steps forward as you approach, holding his hand
By
up.
order of the Patriarch, only authorized personnel are to pass this gate.
What kind of authorization do I need?
An invitation from the head of a family or authorization from the Patriarch. Until you have that, the gate stays closed.
Goodbye.
Good day.
I'll figure out what's through that gate later. What are these things here?
You got business with McTavish? Come into the machine shop. If not, then fuck off.
Oh. Communicator? Radio? Not sure what that is.
How does it feel now?
Allie?
Mom? Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Just a minute, can we talk to you?
Why? What do you want?
You need help?
No, please, I just need you to go away. Please.
You're expecting your mother? Where is she?
I don't know. We were heading to Colorado Springs with a lot of other folks when we got separated. I hurried here as quick as I could after, but I ain't found her anywhere. I keep hoping.
You got separated?
There was this smiling lady. She said she had some food, and I could take some back to my mom if I came with her. And next thing I know, she was gonna sell me. She put me in a cage.
Wow. How did you escape?
One of her men took me out of the cage to... I kicked him as hard as I could and ran. They didn't find me in the dark. And then I saw some refugees and tagged along. Stayed with them till I got here.
Goodbye. I'm sorry to hear that, Hallie. You're safe now.
Bye.
I hope you die slow!
Bastards!
How can you be dead?
Rangers, you told me that we were going to save my family. This
All
isn't
right,
the way
we'll
to
stay
I'm glad.
here.
It's not fair.
Well, there's just piles of corpses everywhere.
Murderers! I hope you die slow!
Dozens killed by Dorsey thugs. Families taken hostage.
Okay, we're
Come
heading up
out
this
of there,
way.
you sons of bitches!
Josiah, come on! Don't provoke them!
But they're in my shop. They might ruin my stock.
Better they ruin your stock than your...
Consarn it! You Dorsey peckerheads, get on out of there!
The old man is shouting into a nearby shop and waving a shotgun around.
Hush up now, Josiah. You can't go in there alone. They'll kill you.
You think I can't handle myself? I've put down worse than these in my time.
Oh, since when? You've been a shopkeeper all your life.
When she notices you, an expression of release crosses her face.
Will you help me talk some sense into this old fool? If he goes after those Dorseys, he'll get himself killed.
What's going on here?
Some of those Dorsey bastards are hiding out in my shop. My shop! Finest clothing store in the whole dang town. So I'm going in after 'em.
Look, why don't you let us professionals handle this?
Thank you. Keep an old man from killing himself, will you?
Killing myself? Can't you pretend to have some faith in me, Martha? Especially in front of these soldier types?
He shakes his head, then turns to you.
You do this, you'll get a nice discount at the shop. Assuming I still have a shop by the time it's all over.
Okay, let's do this. Want you on this side. Zeus, you're gonna be the one opening the door with your close range. Oh, I don't have ammo for that. Let me actually switch his weapon out then. Pulse gun. I guess we'll switch that out for now. Okay, I guess you can stand here. See ya, you can stand by the door. Ghost over here.